Hello, and welcome to MT4 Professional. Today's webinar is on trading strategies using the MT4 Professional Scanner. I want to let everyone here know that we are here for educational purposes only, and that MT4 Professional and Resilient Traders are not registered trading advisors, so we cannot give you specific trade advice. But what we can do is teach and train you how to use our popular system and platform and how to develop a trading plan that's both consistently profitable and successful. Trading with futures, stocks, forex options, cryptocurrencies have a large potential for rewards, and you can make a lot of money, but they also carry a large potential for risk, and you can lose a lot of money. So you need to be aware of the risks involved and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets, and never trade in a live account until you have first proven you can consistently and profitably trade a simulated account. And only then can you start working on the mind game. I am Randy Lindsay, your trade coach, operations director here at MT4 Professional. Claudio Cardinal is joining me today. He's our product development director and technology guru. Together we make up Resilient Traders. We're here to teach you today about trading strategies using MT4 Professional and the scanner. We're going to talk a little bit about what a market scanner is, what MT4 Professional is. I'm going to give you a live demonstration of our platform, and I'm going to make a very special offer for you since you're here in today's webinar. And of course, throughout the presentation, you can have any questions and I'll provide the answers during the presentation. So just use the questions pane on your GoToWebinar control panel, and I'll be glad to get to those in the order that they are received. So there are a lot of strategies that are available on the web today that many traders are using. EMA and price is a pure price action strategy that's probably the most popular, but the MACD and signal comes in a close second as far as strategies where people are looking for moving average convergence, divergence indications, because it gets you into the trades pretty quickly and gets you out of the trades at near highs or lows. So it's a pretty consistent trade signal. It's a little bit delayed, so you know you're trading a little bit behind the curve when you're trading with the MACD as opposed to the EMA and price. Moving average crossovers take two or more different moving averages, and you look at the inflection point on the moving averages to determine either trend direction or to determine entry or exit points on your trades. Or you can throw a bunch of them together and create a strategy that's made of multiple strategies. One would be like the EMA and price, a MACD and signal, throw an RSI in there as well for good measure. Then you'll have a composite strategy that might give you much better trade results. It might filter down some of the losing trades, but it will also filter down some of the winning trades to give you a better overall track record. And then there's the ever popular alligator, which is 3 different moving averages designed for much longer time frame trades so that you're not as concerned of the crossovers as you would normally be. Though this is a very popular strategy for many of swing traders that are out there. The MT4 Professional Scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies, plus many more, which I'll show you as we continue on, and alert you when all the conditions are met for a particular trade. So I'm going to launch a poll right now to find out of all those that are here today, how many of you are currently, let me see here. No, wrong one. I hit the wrong button. There we go. So if you are currently using MT4 Professional or not, just let me know. And that'll help me to better construct my presentation today. I won't spend as much time on the basics if I already know that you're a current user. Okay, and if you need me to go over anything specific, Of course, there's always the questions pane. I'll be more than glad to get to that as well. All right, well, I'll go ahead and close this out then. Looks like 100% of those in the class today have not tried MT4 Professional yet, so we'll go ahead and move on from this point. So what is a market scanner? What is MT4 Professional? If you look at all the symbols that are available to you on the MT4 platform, for example, that's 50 different Forex pairs, 20 CFDs, 9 timeframes. Well, that's more than 630 different combinations to check for potential trade setups. Do you think that you're able to do that manually? And how often are you missing opportunities where symbols are going and trending and you're missing out on that? There's always a trend moving somewhere, and if you're not in front of the right symbol at the right time, you're probably missing an opportunity. So today, if you're trading with different instruments, it's important because that's the key to being profitable. You're not always going to be trading the same instrument all the time. In fact, trading uncorrelated instruments is a great way to remove uncertainty in your instruments portfolio and diversifies your portfolio at the same time. So a perfect solution for this is a market scanner. What is a market scanner? A market scanner is a tool that automatically scans the market at any time frame or any situation using any symbol or custom rules that you provide it, and it finds trade opportunities for you. While it's not a signal provider, it is a tool that allows you to analyze all the strategies you want to use using all the indicators you have at your disposal. One simple example is the cross of two moving averages. Over on the right, you can see a little spreadsheet layout of different cells. You've got the symbol column, you've got the 1 minute column and a 5 minute column. And each column has either red or green cells denoting bullishness or bearishness. So if I have a cross of a moving average where a bullish cross is green and a bearish cross is red, then this is going to give me a lot of information. So if I'm looking at the pound US dollar, I can see that the 1 and 5 minute are both bearish. I can see the euro with the 1 and 5 are both bullish. So that gives me some information that I can use that will potentially get me into a nice trade. The other thing I can see is like the Aussie US dollar has a bullish 1 minute but a bearish 5 minutes. So the longer time frame is sitting in a downtrend while the shorter time frame looks like it's starting to reverse. So if my 5 minute starts to turn green and the 1 minute is still green, that's a great opportunity for me to get long. Likewise, the same thing is here with the euro yen, where it's red and the longer term is green. So I can see and identify potential reversals or potential revert to trend. So if this occurs and then the 5 minute changes or the 1 minute changes back to green, I know that that has returned to the longer term trend and I have a much more confident re-entry into the existing trend. There's a lot of strength in that. So a market scanner does all the work for you. And so you can focus on managing things like getting your mindset in the right place or setting the trade up. Market scanner searches for all the conditions that you've set up, your rules, your strategy, and helps you to see when it's favorable for a specific trade. Here's another example of EMA and price. So if price action is greater than a specific moving average, then I want to see a green cell on whatever time frame I'm scanning on. And I want to see a red one for every one where the price is less than that EMA. So from looking at these particular cells and setups, 1, 5, or 15 minutes, and I'm not limited to these, I can use much longer time frames. Then for whatever symbol that I'm looking for, I can see that the Bitcoin is starting to have a potential reversal, waiting for the longer term to either change or waiting for the short time to go back in line with the longer term trend, both giving me potential trade opportunities. I talk a lot about multiple time frames. So looking at multiple time frames, did you know if you trade with multiple time frame technical analysis on your side, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? It's because correlation is involved in trading longer time frames. So looking at a 15-minute time frame compared to a 1 minute or a 4-hour, you can see the 15-minute is much choppier, much noisier than the 1 minute, but the 1 minute is 1 hour. The 1 hour is much noisier than the 4-hour. So if we're trading in the direction of the longer time frame trend, then we're not going to be tempted to take these short corrections. We're probably going to be holding through the noise, and we'll have a higher probability that our trade will end in profit. So if we had a market scanner that could search for these types of setups and that are based on our own rules and verified with multiple time frame technical analysis, it would be an extremely valuable tool because it would result in a higher probability, lower risk trade setup. So here's an example of a much longer time frame setup using the same approach. Here we're looking at a 4-hour chart, a daily chart, and a weekly chart. And I'm looking at a MACD price action with a EMA and a relative strength indicator. The rules are if price is greater than the 15-period EMA, and if I have a bullish indication on my MACD, and if I have rising relative strength, so it's coming out of extremely oversold condition. These are my conditions for a buy. So if that's true, then I need to set and check my second and third time frames to see if they support that entry. Looking at the daily, I want to see a bullish MACD, and I want to see that relative strength is rising. In this case, that's true. And on the third time frame, I need to be able to see that relative strength is rising and is not in an oversold condition. That's true too. So all three conditions have been met, and my trade criteria show me that this is ideal for a opportunity entry. And so this entry would have resulted in over 300 pips of profit, which is an ideal setup and trade for the swing trade setup in the Euro US dollar. So we're using multiple time frame technical analysis. We have lower trade opportunities and higher probability the trade will end in our favor. And that's a powerful combination for any trader because it shows the importance of using multiple time frame technical analysis in your trading. A market scanner that uses multiple time frame analysis is an extremely valuable tool because it does all of that for you automatically. The problem we ran into was that as professional traders, we needed a scanner that could do this for us, but we couldn't find any on MT4 or MT5. The few we did find were too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer to use it. They were unstable or maybe single tools that weren't well integrated with the whole system. They were incompatible with a lot of the indicators, and there were lots of other issues. So we ended up developing MT4Professional for ourselves, for our own daily trading. And once the word got out and people started seeing how valuable it was, we started making it available to other people. And it's now the #1 market scanner on MT4 and MT5. It's a tool that allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your own unique criteria and rules. And when you find a good setup, it allows you to enhance that setup with technical analysis. It's not too easy to do on MT4 and MT5, and I'll show you that as we get going on. So let's get into a live demonstration at this point, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me pull up my MT4 platform and show you what I'm talking about. Here I've got 3 different time frames. I got a 15-minute, I have a 30-minute, and I have an hourly chart showing me specific trades and setups and different indicators that are on there. Notice that all 3 of these windows are separated, and then the other 2 on the side are different sizes. So if I were to go into a full screen mode, look at all the screen space that I have wasted that I have to physically redraw. So if I have to physically move these windows down and then resize these 2 in order to make use of all the space. That's very difficult to do if your windows aren't all the same size. I can't even go up under the window and try to rearrange everything because it'll mess my layout up. Also, if I needed to change the symbol, then by dragging and dropping, I have to do that on each and every one. And so each one of these would have to change independently. And it's hard to do that on multiple charts, especially I only have 3, but if you have more than 3, then that should just make it really, really difficult. So, and you can see sometimes it just doesn't update. All right, well, let's pull up MT4 Professional. I want to show you some interesting improvements that we've been able to make over that. MT4 Professional, it's right here. Let me go ahead and pull up the first thing. And the first thing you want to notice is that it's configuration management. It doesn't come up with charts already pre-configured like you have on regular MT4. It comes up with a configuration manager, which allows you to identify and come up with specific setups or trade strategies that you can employ right off the bat. So I'm looking at the EMA and price strategy first. And what it does is it's looking at a 5, 15, and 30-minute time frame setup, and it's looking for potential trade opportunities within that. So it's showing me a bullish trend on the euro, the pound, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the US 30, and so forth. So you can see the bullish or bearish state of these. So first time frame you can see is bullish because its price is greater than the EMA. Second time frame, it's bullish. Third time frame, it's bullish. So you can see by keeping in line with this longer time frame trend, then all of these swings that went under the EMA, once they came back up greater than, gave us a re-entry opportunity. So the 5-minute sell went red, but the 15 and the 30-minute sells stayed green. So when the 5-minute went back green again, that gave you an opportunity to get in and a potential trade opportunity that would have resulted in what 25 pip trade right there. So that's a really great setup and an opportunity to get back in. You can see the same thing occurred right here when price closed right back up again. This cell would have turned back green again, while the other two remained green, and that would have given you also another good trade entry opportunity. And this could have occurred all the time. Every time you saw this pullback, then every time you saw it over on this side, you would have been able to get right back in again. Or once you did originally get into the trade, then just hold the trade through these pullbacks as the longer term trend continues to pull. And once this closes down under the EMA, then that could be a confirmed exit point. And if that were the case, then you can see that you would have been able to easily make at least, what is that, 57? That's almost a 60 pip profit right there. So just by simply buying and holding. So that's a nice trade setup as well. So again, if there are any questions along the way, just let me know by entering your questions in the questions pane. I'll be more than glad to get to those. Let's look at the configuration to setup to see how we do that. So if you edit the configuration, on the right-hand side, this is where you set up how the charts on the over here will look. So by clicking on that, you can see that I have 3 charts. One of them is a large chart. The other 2 are small charts. And so over here, if I were to change these windows or move them up or down or reconfigure them, you'll see that they will change direction and I can reconfigure them in any way that I want to. I can change the time frames. I can change the template that I see. And let me show you something real quick before I go ahead and move on. If I were to go and change this time frame to a 30-minute, it's not responding right now. I don't know why. All right, well, let me go out and go back in again. I'm not sure why it's not responding. Let me go back in again. There we go. All right, so let's select that. Let's edit it. There we go. All right, so now on this side, you can see the symbols and you can see the scanner itself. Let's select the scanner and see what the rules are that enable us to see that. So looking at these specific rules, we can see that whenever price has closed greater than or equal to a 15-period exponential moving average, that's going to be a bullish setup. So it's going to color the cell of my spreadsheet green on the scanner itself. If this is not true, then it's going to look at this condition. And it's going to look to see if price is less than the 15-period exponential moving average. And if that's the case, if that's true, it will color the cell red. If neither one of these conditions are true, then the default color yellow will be used, and the output of the cell will be yellow. So it shows you which one's bullish or bearish based upon these criteria. If I wanted to add additional criteria or change these symbols, then I can always update them using the edit tool. And so I can change the period of the moving average, or whether it's exponential or simple or linear weighted or so forth. So I can set all that up in the settings here. I can look at the close of price, the current price, the open of price, or whatever other indicator I might want to use to compare. If I'm looking for specific slopes, then I can look at the moving average 15 period 2 bars ago and compare it to the current bar and see if the slope is moving up or if the slope is moving down. So that's very easy to do just by simply adding and including a different moving average here. I'll put in a moving average that's going to be a little bit longer. Here I will use a 50 period simple moving average based on a close. And then I'll use that over on this side, and I'll use the 15 period on this side. And I'll say if the 15 period is greater than the 50 and price is greater than the 15, that's going to be a much more bullish setup. Likewise, if I see that the 15 period is less than that 50 period, in addition to price being less than the 15 period, that also would be a strong bearish indication. Now, there would be some indications here where this would be yellow, and that's when the first one might be true, but the second one might not be. And so then you would see a yellow return on the output. I'll cancel out that because I don't really want to change that. So let's go ahead and get out of this and show you that whenever you're finished using that, if you edit this and you make changes to it, then click the Save button. You'll get a check mark indicating it's saved and backed up to the cloud. And then you close the window and always hit the load button anytime you've done a reload or reconfiguration to make sure that everything is backed up not only on your computer, but also into the cloud. Because everything in MT4Professional is cloud-based, you don't have to worry about losing any of your data. So your computer can crash, your hard drive can blow up, or someone can steal your laptop, your mobile, your computer. You don't have to worry about losing any of your data, because once you get it reestablished, then all you have to do is log into MT4Professional and all of your data and all of your strategies will come right up, and you don't have to worry about that. You'll be back up and running. Notice how when I go to full screen that the windows automatically redraw and automatically fill up the screen, and all of them are integrated together. So see the blue crosshair that you see right here? When I move that around on the screen, you can see it moves on all 3 windows synchronously. So when I'm looking for the initial setup here, and not only can I synchronize time, I can synchronize price as well. So at that point, that's the potential trade entry. I can see that the 15-minute is still bullish, the 30-minute is still bullish. This is a great input opportunity, a great entry. I can do the same thing as it looks to close back down. Once this closes right here below, I can see that the 15 is still bullish, but it is starting to trend down. I can also see that the 30-minute is still bullish, but it also has a big close down as well. But still a long ways away from the 15 minutes. So I could either continue to hold at this point or exit to try to look for a future re-entry point. That future re-entry point came right here. And at that point, I have a bullish and a bullish, confirming this as a re-entry point and a now in profit trade. All right, so that's an EMA and price strategy. Let's look at another configuration where I've come combining several different indicators, because this was a real simple setup. So looking at this one, we're looking at a EMA and price, which is what we just looked at, but I'm also including a MACD strategy and a relative strength strategy. So looking at that setup, let's open up our configuration to find out why I'm getting some greens, some yellows, and some reds on here. Let me move this over here. Click Edit. Real quick, I'll click on the chart setup to show you I've got a 4-hour, a daily, and a weekly, just like I've got on the charts over here, which are set up with the EMA MACD template. You can use any template that you want. If you already have templates set up, then you can use any of those in your settings. Go over to the scanner side. This is where you configure the scanner list of symbols. Right here are all the symbols that I specifically chose. You can set those up and use them over here. Here's where you set your rules for the strategy. I called my rule strong signal. The strong signal strategy, and you can see I've got more than one color rule governing these things. One's for a trend and the other is for the actual signal. So let's see what the signal involves. The signal looks at 3 different conditions for the trade. I'm using the MACD crossover, which if you look at the MACD, the histogram, which is the MACD itself, looks at the white histogram value. And when it closes greater than the red signal line, that's a bullish signal. Relative strength, I'm looking to see if the current relative strength is greater than the previous relative strength. If that's the case, that's a bullish trend. If it's not true, then that's a bearish trend, and I'm only waiting for that to turn bullish. And I'm also looking to see if price closes greater than this exponential moving average. So those are the conditions. I'm looking for the current MACD base indicator, which is the histogram. I need it to be less than the signal line for it to be bearish. And I need price to be less than my 15-period exponential moving average. And I need relative strength previously to be greater than the current relative strength, which indicates a downtrend or I'm losing energy. So this is all 3 of these true would give me a bearish indication or a signal to go short. Okay. Vice versa, if one or any of these are not true, then it would go and check for bullish conditions to see if the MACD had a crossover, if price is greater than, or if the relative strength is rising. In any of these cases, if either or of these are not true, then you will get a yellow signal confirming that the trade's not quite ready. You need to wait a little bit longer. Okay. On the weekly chart, I have the trend color rule set up. All it does, if you look at the trend color rules, it's looking for a close of price to be greater than the 15 period. So here's my trend indication. So if this price is not greater than that, I'm only looking for shorts right now. I'm really not looking for any type of a long trade indication right because my longer term trend is trending downward. So that's the idea behind that. So if you make any changes, make sure to save it. Once you close this window, make sure that you click the load button. Are there any questions? So it's another really good strategy for identifying trades and getting them out. So looking at these types of setups, then you can see that the choppy nature of the faster time frame markets are removed, because if you would have just gotten into a trade and it reversed on you like this, then you would not have been able to make any money off these trades. And using the longer term trend keeps you safe and out of those type of choppy trade setups. And so when you see the longer term trend moving like we did here, then in any of these setups, then you would have been able to capitalize on all of these downward moves without having to worry about getting into these choppy sideways type moves. You just take the downward moves whenever they present themselves to you. Are there any questions with regards to indicators, or if you have a specific indicator, you might have written your own indicator, or you might have purchased a third-party indicator. MT4 Professional works perfectly well with any indicator that you want to use. One thing I want to point out, if you edit any of the configurations, then notice in the bottom right-hand corner is the share icon. The share icon is a tool that allows you to share your configuration, a copy of your configuration, with any other trader on the trader network within MT4 Professional. So if you're trading with a team of traders, then everybody can be set up and on the page, same page at the same time, based upon what you have developed. So even if you're trading with a team, or if you have a group of people who are following you, you can give them your setups and your configurations, and they can all be looking at the same thing that you're looking at without having to go through and teach or train them how to set it up or do it. They just click it and they're automatically up and running. And did I mention that everything is cloud-based? That's right. So everything is backed up on the cloud, and you don't have to worry about losing your configurations or your data. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to my presentation then. And I want to make you a very special offer, since you've been sticking with me all this time. The features and the information that we've provided and presented to you today is based upon the MT4 Professional platform. It's a full-featured platform for both MT4 and MT5. You also get full access to our Skype community. This is the full community of users who are on 24/7 in our Skype chat room. So feel free to get involved with them, to interact with those. And Claudio and I are also in the room to answer any questions that you might have on setups or trades. You also get unlimited configuration storage, Telegram and email and push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications every month. These are direct messages sent to your cell phone. That if you use your Telegram or email account, then you get unlimited notifications every month. And of course, we include dozens of pre-configured presets with strategies that you can start employing and using today. We have a potential value of that of $22.95, but for a limited time, we've set that up to be $194 per month. And because you're in my trading room today, I've knocked that off by 50%. So you can get started today with a 14-day free trial at $97 per month by using this link, mt4professional.com/trial. Let me copy that link and paste it into the chat box. That way you can see and click on that and be able to see on that. So by clicking on the trial and getting started, you'll have 14 days to try either MT4 or MT5 platforms, or both if you have both platforms set up. And you get 14 days to try it out to see if it can work for you. You have full access to all the software, to all the strategies. So you might even be up and running and making money within the first hour or two of downloading that. But not only do you have it for 14 hours, you have it for 14 days, 2 full weeks to test everything out to see if it works for you. We help you with onboarding. We get you going on the process. So if you were to look over on the member site of MT4 Professional, let me pull that up for you. then you can see by logging into the members area off of the MT4 Professional website, then you can see you can download the software right from that main page. We have an onboarding process that walks you through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on how to get going and involved with MT4 Professional and how to get up and running today. And an additional feature that I didn't show you before was that you can take MT4 Professional with you wherever you are, and it travels with you. And I'll show you that right after I'm done with the presentation, but I want to leave this up just to be able to show you that. By clicking on the Help and Documentation Center, then you have access to all the quick start videos, all the information that you need to get up and running quickly. Background on how to set up these configurators for the charts, the scanners, the workspaces, and the symbols. So even if you need to change your subscription, if you need to add or upgrade your license, or even cancel your subscription, everything can be done from the members area. So real quickly, let me go back through there. So by clicking on this link, you'll get started with your trial. Your credit card will not be charged for 14 days, and we'll send you 3 different emails ahead of time to let you know when we're getting ready to charge your credit card. And if you don't change or do anything else, then your credit card will be charged on the 15th day for the $97, which is 50% off of the regular suggested retail price. Now, this isn't just a 30-day trial or information. It is a lifetime setup and license. So you don't have to worry about changing this or losing the discount at any point in the future. Let me go ahead and pull my chart back up again. So looking at my chart, then if I were to pull my browser back up again, this represents a mobile device. Say that I have my browser up and running on my iPhone, and I pull this website up. And if I link and click on the real-time scanner menu item on my mobile device, and I select the account on my computer back in the office, then it'll automatically scan for and look for the scanner that's running and the setups that's there. So right now, it looks like it's having a hard time finding it. It normally pops right up, so I apologize. Let me see if I can't do that again. There it goes. That's normally what it does, just pops right up. Sometimes it gets hung in limbo, so just try it again. It pops right up. Notice that I have an exact duplicate of the scanner on my desktop right here on my mobile device. And if I were to click on any of the symbols on my mobile device, say the pound dollar, then it will change the symbol to the pound dollar, take a snapshot, and send it to me on my mobile device. So that way I can see why I'm getting a specific trade setup that I am based upon these settings. So I don't have to worry about running back to the office to see if that trade setup is good or not. I can contact my broker directly on my mobile device and execute my trade right there without having to run back to my office. So I can still stay at my lunch appointment and not have to worry about anything. So that's nice that MT4 Professional can go with you and you don't have to worry about a thing. And then any snapshot that you take, whether it's in immediate or if it's here on the snapshot tool, will be stored here in your snapshots directory. And you can take a snapshot and tag them all with specific tags. Now, these are ones that I've just created. You can create any number of tags that you would like. You can make them public or private. And if they are public, then will give you a share link that you can copy and paste to share on any of your favorite social medias outlets or into the trade rooms of your choice to show them where your trade setup occurred. All right. Are there any questions here before we move on? Is there a specific strategy that you would like for me to go over for you that you might be interested in? There are quite a few other ones. These are the more popular ones, the MACD, the EMA and price. If you're looking for one which is a little more strategy driven, that's based upon third-party indicators. Well, here, I'll load this one up to show you that. Remember earlier I was looking at the Hawkeye tools. Well, here you can see I've got 3 charts that are set up using the Hawkeye indicators. These are top of the line third-party indicators that show you trend, volume, and momentum type indications. And you can see my scanner over here is working hard identifying which ones are in trend. And on my 15-minute time frame, I'm not only looking at the trend, but I'm looking at the momentum and I'm looking at the volume associated with that trade. Then I'm comparing that with a 30-minute chart, which is looking at momentum and volume. And then I'm looking at the 60-minute chart, which is only looking at volume. So when all 3 align, then that gives me a great opportunity for a trade entry. Here you can see that on the Euro US dollar, I do have a correction in play because my trend is white, my momentum is dark green, and my volume is still bright green. So I've got bright volume on 30 and 60 as well. So this is a good opportunity for a continuation trade setup. If it wasn't just a bad time of the day to trade, then this would be a really good opportunity. But once you saw that condition set up here or here, then that could have gotten you into any of these potential trades in line with the longer term trends. So the scanner is ideal for doing that, for showing you these potential setups, helping you to set the configurations the way that you want them to be and manage them in that setup. So by looking at these rules, then you can see that by editing the trend indicator, I'm using the Hawkeye trend and stops tool, and the output of that corresponds to a green trend or a bullish trend is the output number 1. That same indicator will show the bearish trend on output number 2, and that same indicator will show a neutral or white output on output 3. So by looking at any of those output indicators, so I can do that by pulling up my data window right here. Notice that the Hawkeye trend long, short, or neutral, those were the 3 conditions I just showed you. Trend long, trend short, or trend neutral, output 1, output 2, and output 3. So whenever trend long is greater than 0, then I know that I have output that is bullish. Here you can see the short, blank, the neutral, blank. But whenever I move my mouse over a specific point, then I can see that now neutral is on, but short is blank and long is blank. So the condition for the Hawkeye trend to be greater than 0 is my signal that identifies it being either bullish, bearish, this is looking at number 2, okay, or neutral, white. And this one is looking specifically at output 3. So it's always scanning for any of those setups, and it's going to let me know, based upon the criteria I give it, whether it's going to be green, red, or white, bullish, bearish, or neutral. And that's for the 15-minute. The 30-minute, and you can see that on here, I'm looking not only at the trend, but I'm looking at the momentum, and I'm looking at volume. Second time frame, I'm only looking at the heat map and volume. I've turned the trend off because I don't really need that to look at the trend on the longer time frame because it's too slow. Then on the 60-minute time frame, I'm only looking at volume because volume is really a much more leading indicator than either of the momentum or trend indications. So I'm looking for that on my 60 to help me to get in and to confirm my trade entry. So I use my data window to help me to integrate and set up the configurations for these custom configurations or for these custom indicators because they're not found in the normal library that you would see over here on your Trade Navigator. All right, are there questions? I do a lot better if you give me a specific question. If there's something that you don't understand, maybe you want more information on, just let me know and I'll be glad to spend more time on it. I've covered all the information I need to cover today. So to go back over it then, MT4Professional, for $97 a month, you can get a 14-day free trial by clicking on this link, mt4professional.com/trial. If you have any questions, if you need to contact us for any reason, you can always get us at support@mt4professional.com, and I'll copy that into the chat box there as well, support@mt4professional.com. We guarantee 24-hour response to answer all of your questions to make sure that you're satisfied and you're up and running. And we also have a custom onboarding where we help you walk you through the setups and to make sure that you're up and running within the 14-day trial. Make sure that you're up and running as quickly as possible. All right. Well, thank you very much for your participation today. I appreciate it. Again, my name is Randy Lindsay, and we're here to help you get set up and to help you to build a trading plan that's both consistently profitable and successful. Thank you very much for your time and attention. We will be back here at the same time in about 2 weeks. We hold these live webinars every 2 weeks for not only training but for presentation purposes. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you at this same time in about 2 weeks. Bye for now.